House cleaning. We do have some ambulance units available. One of them is parked in the parking lot for the playground. And if you ever need assistance, just raise your hand. We have some ushers going around. You can also look for individuals wearing the bright green vests, and they'll assist you. I would like to ask that if you have any cell phones, please put them on silent or turn them off. And I'm told to say this, but in the event we need to quickly leave the ring, please use the same exit which you arrived in. Okay. For folks who don't know me, my name is Brendan White. I work as the Communications Director for the St. Regis Mohawk Tribe, and it is my distinct honor to be here today to help celebrate our Akwesasne Mohawk Code Talkers. As many of us know, this is a very important, very historic moment for our community. A lot of us can say it has been a long time coming. But in particular, I want to say that this is a special moment for many families that are joining us today. As much as we would like to share this time, with the Code Talkers themselves, we know that they're here in spirit. And I would like to say that they're here today. We may not be able to see them, but they're right here in the front row. So when each of you come up today to get your medal, they're standing right there, right next to you. During the past several weeks, we've had individuals come into our office and share with us honorable discharge papers, commendations, citations, but also stories. Stories that the Code Talker may have written themselves and shared with their family members. Stories that were shared by their commanding officers. And I have to tell you, they're more than just Code Talkers. They're heroes. And we hope to share with you some of those stories today. So without further ado, again, I thank you for your patience. It's very, very warm today. And if you need water, again, we have some ushers to deliver you the water. With that, we would like to welcome the American Legion's Honor Guard. If we can ask you to stand, we have the Standing Arrow Singers joining us to perform an honor song. Thank you very much for the American Legion Post 1479 Honor Guard and members, as well as standing arrow singers. Please, a big round of applause. You can all take a seat. I would like to ask that if there are any veterans here, active serving or former veterans, if you can be sure to sign in at the registration table. It gives me pleasure to welcome our first speaker, along with Tribal Sub-Chief Michael Connors. He has served as the tribe's representative in the recognition of the Akwesasne Mohawk Code Talkers and the design of the Congressional Medal itself. Please join me in welcoming Tribal Chief Ron LaFrance.
People out there. On behalf of the Akwesasne Mohawk Tribal Council, I would like to welcome the family members of those being honored here today. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, Assemblywoman Abby Russell, distinguished dignitaries, elders, and Boone. I would like to thank you for taking your time from your business schedule today to join us for this historic occasion I mentioned earlier for the presentation of the Congressional Medals of Honor by Akwesasne Mohawk Code Talkers. I'd like to start off by saying thank you so very much for our Code Talkers who did listen and continue to speak their language. Without you, we wouldn't be sitting here today. So for that, we'd like to especially leave life and go. I'd like to start off by saying it's about time. It's about time that our elders and families recognized today for the valiant efforts that were made in securing peace, not only in our country or in Akwesasne, but throughout the world. This has been a long process from start to today, and I want to say no thank you to Jeff Whaley for helping initiate the process way back in 2011. And also to Orlo and Alma Ransom. And it was Orlo who actually came up with an initial list of 24 individuals that served during World War II as both Mohawk. The Department of Defense was able to verify 17 of them as being code talkers who are here to recognize today. I want to express my appreciation to our local artist, famous artist, I should say, Mr. John Thomas. For his vision for the Congressional Medal that he shared with Tribal Council, which was ultimately the decision of the American Legion Post 1479 and its members. The unique design elements that John contributed has resulted in one of the most stunning congressional medals ever to be designed by the U.S. Mint. I am honored to be here today for the presentation of those medals to our Akwesasne Mohawk Code Talkers. Thank you very much, John. go in front of the selection committee at the U.S. Mint to plead our case as to why we need to have John's concept accepted. I let them know that the proposed rendition of the medal was accepted before our veterans, before it was accepted by tribal council. I also told the community that the men and women of Akwesasne have always taken great pride and commitment to serving this country. From Colonel Lewis Cook in the Revolutionary War to Jeffrey Johnson, who spent 2 tours in Iraq and 1 in Afghanistan. Mr. Johnson, where are you? Jeffrey, stand up. This community has always sent our young men and women to serve in the U.S. military in times of conflict, though they haven't always returned when we sent them to you, rather. I was planning on continue arguing the case that this medal should be accepted the way it was. But during the break after I spoke, one of the ladies raised her hand and said, I make a motion to accept this medal as it is. And there was a little bit of discussion going around the room afterwards. But all I remember what she said was that this was the most beautiful medal she had ever seen. And once again, I'd like to thank John Thomas for the vision. It was very beautiful medal. The vote was taken, and the rendition that is being presented today was accepted by consensus. I want to add that war is a terrible thing that unfortunately is fought by people who firmly believe in the concept of freedom. Today is a historic day for all Akwesasne Mohawk who have dedicated their lives, sometimes sacrificed their lives, for the preservation of that freedom. For the families of these heroes, I would like to say now that your loved ones can finally be at peace, knowing that this day is dedicated to the commitment to freedom when they served as young men. Whatever stories they may have shared with you about their military service will be forever ingrained in these beautiful medals. In closing, I'd like to share a conversation that I had with my brother when I was a little boy. I asked him what he remembered most from being in World War II. And if you knew my grandfather, he had a very soft voice. And he said, it wasn't nice. And I hope there will never be any more wars where our people will have to fight. To all the families gathered here today, I want to say, Namagoa. We will never forget your loved ones' commitment to this country, and more importantly, to Akwesasne. Namagoa. Can we get the 4 members of the Legion that are going to come up to help unveil the medal here today? Ladies and gentlemen, the Akwesasne Mohawk.
Now, Chief of France, moving along in the agenda, I'm glad that we also have representation from the Mohawk Council of Akwesasne to share some welcoming words on behalf of Grand Chief Abram Benedict. Please join me in welcoming the non-religious Chief Timothy Thompson.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Grand Chief Abram Benedict, I bring regrets he is unable to be here today due to a prior commitment. So, on behalf of Mohawk Council of Akwesasne, I bring greetings and say congratulations to the families, including mine, who are here today accepting this Congressional Medal on behalf of our grandfathers, fathers, brothers, uncles, our heroes. Because that's what they are, heroes. Special congratulations today to Levi Oaks, who was 90 years old, 90 years young, and the share to be recognized with this Congressional Medal is truly an honor for each and every one of you. We heard the stories in passing, and in some cases, some families like Harry Pike, Alec Oaks, always brought good laughter. And in some cases, like our family, my dad rarely spoke about it. He rarely spoke about the times he served in the Army. We knew he served in the U.S. Army. We knew he was in Germany. We knew he was honorably discharged on December 1st, 1945. That's all that matters. He served. We thank him. My dad died on May 11th, 1995, on my brother Lonnie's birthday, 21 years ago this month. So it is befitting to recognize him today with the other Akwesasne co-talkers. So on behalf of Council, Grand Chief, and Chiefs, we say thank you to everyone involved in making this special day happen. And to each of the recipients accepting your Congressional Medal, and to you, Levi, we say congratulations and thank you for your service. And to the men and women who served or are serving in any unit of the U.S. military, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. Now,
I was trying to be respectful, but we all know him as Luli. It goes without saying, and it's common knowledge, that per capita, compared with all ethnic groups, Native Americans have sent the largest percentage of its people to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces. Akwesasne is no different. And as a result, we have one of the most successful, one of the largest, one of the most active American Legions. Joining us today to share some welcoming remarks is American Legion Post 1479 Commander Michael Boone Cook.
All right, before I start, I'd like to, that's from my post. I don't show up to the meetings unless there's a camera there. But anyway, good afternoon, our seniors, and grandmothers. It's a very proud day. On behalf of the American Legion Post 1479, the Sons of the American Legion, and the Akwesasne Marine Corps, and our few ladies of the auxiliary. Also, we have the county commander and his group here. You know, I'm really happy they showed up. I'd like to also, we have U.S. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, Assemblywoman Addie Russell, and I'd also like to give thanks to B.J. Hearn. He wrote the speech, and I didn't know I was going to give one. I'd also like to thank our veterans. I have Barney Rohr, During this Memorial Day weekend of 2016, we gather not once but twice. We do that this year to honor what is described as the greatest generation, and for us in Akwesasne, the persons which will soon be recognized are part of Akwesasne's greatest generation. When war was declared by the United States, many men and women from Akwesasne entered that call. They would go on to serve in every major theater of World War II, the Pacific, Europe, Africa, and Italy. Some of these young men would never have the opportunity to return home here in Akwesasne. Today we gather to honor one particular segment of our greatest generation, the segment which will after today know as the Mohawk Code Topics. The use of the Native American service members as a means of communication only recently became known. The most famous is that of the Navajo Code Doctrine effort for the U.S. Marine Corps in the Pacific Theater. I have to throw that in because PJ wrote this. This program was very formal in both its formation and training. After the war, it remains confidential for close to 50 years until those remaining members were able to talk openly about their efforts during the war. As you are marching, okay, I skipped the one. So for today, we talk about something a little less formal. For that, I would like to have each of you try to imagine that you have enlisted in one of the branches of the military. You have completed training and now find yourself in a foreign country. A process which many veterans from our greatest generation found themselves in. You could be standing among a group of persons who were prior to your arrival were total strangers. These are now persons which are your squad or platoon, which with these new friends, brothers, you could be marching either single or double file, flying in a foreign country. As you're marching, you suddenly hear Sego. It is a word only you know, and nobody else knows. And you turn around and you have to look at him because he has a bald head and usually had raggedy hair, and now he's clean shaven and clean cut. You begin to think, this is what I heard, and some of you are here to hear it again, Sego. Now you know you have heard somebody true, Akwesasne fashion, Huxley, Anotsi, or Agahunka. I think that's a lot, Agahunka probably figured that out when they signed up, what the hell are they doing? I also think a lot of you youngins heard Agahunka a lot. I thought that was my meaning. About 10th grade, somebody told me why. So anyways, I'd like to thank you, brother, for doing a good job. I'm glad you let us say the honor of what you do there. Thank you. Also, before I go any further, I want to bring up our
Almighty God, you have to speak to heart and mind. You have words that serve to shape the heart and mind. Soft anger and drive out hatred with the brain, say the words that instill the strong and fairness and justice. I speak peace to the world. O God of heaven and earth, creator grant to us the living, the feeling of responsibility for carrying on the great work with those loved ones who have given their lives for the glorious freedom's sake. And to your deeds and the noble sacrifices they bring us. Foster peace and mutual understanding that all nations may turn from war and again choose their faith and their trust in you. Teach us our responsibility to those who have died for us and humanity, and that we may be our lives to humanity. Teach us that a nation loses its freedom when it loses its God, and that true liberty is found in following the divine commandments. Give our Lord our God, and grant the ones who are not dead, that in union with you they come down the world, love, and peace. Amen.
Very good. Detail and purpose. In the quiet sanctuaries of our own hearts, let each of us name and call on the one whose power over us is great and gentle, firm and forgiving, holy and healing. You who created us, who sustained us, who call us to live in peace. Hear our prayer this day. Hear our prayer for all who have died, whose hearts and hopes are known to you alone. Hear our prayer for those who put the welfare of others ahead of their own. Give us our hearts as generous as theirs. Help us to shape and make a world where we will lay down the arms of war and turn our swords into plowshares for a harvest of justice and peace. Comfort those who grieve the loss of their loved ones, and let your healing be the hope in our hearts. Hear our prayer this day, and in your mercy answer us in the name of all that is holy. Amen. Covered.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was very poignant and very appropriate for today's event. Again, if anyone would like some water, we have plenty of water on hand. It's very important to stay hydrated and get very warm. We're asking our speakers to please keep their remarks brief because we have a lot of presentations to get through, which is good, which is very good for us. With that, we'll move forward in the agenda. As I mentioned earlier, joining Tribal Chief Ronald Franks as a representative for the St. Regis Mohawk tribe in the recognition of our Akwesasne Mohawk as co-talkers and assisting in the design of the Congressional Medal itself has been another member of Tribal Council. Please join me in welcoming Tribal Sub-Chief Michael Connors.
Thank you, Brendan. What we're going to read here today is a letter from council to each one of the co-talkers and their recipients. It's a congratulatory letter from council. On behalf of the St. Regis Mohawk tribe, we are honored to present the Akwesasne Mohawk co-talkers Congressional Silver Medal on this day in the Mohawk territory of Akwesasne. Please accept this Congressional Medal as an expression of our appreciation and gratitude for the important contributions made to the family members' military service. The In 2008, the U.S. Congress passed the Code Talker Recognition Act to acknowledge and commemorate the achievements of American Indian code talkers during World War I and World War II. To recognize that honoring the important military service of Native American code talkers who served with dedication and valor was long overdue. The Akwesasne Mohawk tribe is pleased to be one of 33 tribes recognized for using the native language to send coded messages that could not be deciphered by the enemy. In particular, the Akwesasne Mohawk code talkers contribute to the success of the U.S. Armed Forces during World War II. We are pleased to have worked in cooperation with the U.S. Code Talker Recognition Congressional Medals of Honor program to formally recognize the value and honorable service of our Akwesasne Mohawk code talker. Scott and Peace, State Mohawk Tribal Council, Chief Beverly Cook, Chief Ronald Bond, Chief Eric Thompson, Sub-Chief Charlie Jacobs, Sub-Chief Michael Connors, and Sub-Chief Cheryl Jacobs. Illinois.
Now, Sub-Chief Connors for sharing that, and as you mentioned, that is a letter that's being bestowed to each family member of an Akwesasne Mohawk code talker to express our community's appreciation for the service that they did during one of the branches of the U.S. Armed Forces. And a similar letter is also going to be provided to the family members or the code talkers that were unfortunately unable to be confirmed by the Department of the Defense. There may be some documentation that was missing in their submission, but if that information ever comes forward at some point in the future, then we're hopeful that they will also be recognized as code talkers. But the similar letter thanks them for utilizing the native language during their service. I'm happy to see that we have some representatives joining us today from the New York State Assembly as well as U.S. Congress. Our next speaker represents the 116th district in the New York State Assembly. It's known as the River District. She represents all the river communities located along the St. Lawrence River. Please join me in welcoming New York State Assemblywoman Abby Russell.
Good afternoon. Please accept my deepest appreciation for being included in today's incredibly significant ceremony. I am Assemblywoman Addie Russell. While I do not represent the grounds that we stand on today, I think it is significant that I represent what many of us refer to as the River District, the St. Lawrence River Valley, from communities just on the outskirts of the river communities on Lake Ontario to just, I think we would say, west of here. I also represent the many tributaries that run into the St. Lawrence River. And while many in the current political times have difficulty with a district that doesn't conform to other types of political boundaries, like counties in this state, I think that those of you assembled today can really appreciate having a unity of representation of some of the largest freshwater resources in the world. And so I find it a particularly important duty to understand my role as it relates to the conservation of our natural resources, particularly nature's bounty here in the North. I am known for generally speaking right from the heart, with little prepared remarks. I often find reading from a script to be cold and distant. But on occasions like today, I fear that my heart will so overwhelm my mind that I must utilize prepared remarks to ensure I convey the feelings in my heart completely. Today is a day that we honor individuals that serve the United States of America with honor and distinction. Their skills were central to the success of our military efforts and those of our allies in preserving democracy and the principles of a just and fair today served in the strongest traditions of American heroes, and most importantly, in the strongest traditions of the Mohawk Nation. The warrior culture from which they descend is long and celebrated, but it emanates from a society ruled by collective decision-making, with reliance upon allies with similar concerns and shared values, and with women playing extremely important roles in the community, something I particularly cherish. While the warrior is a vital necessity to preserve and protect the society, its use is aimed at balance to provide for an everlasting peace and prosperity for its people. It is not lost on me the irony of the underlying reason that we are gathered today. One of the central reasons that the Code Talker program was possible was due to the policies of the United States to try to suppress the culture, heritage, the very languages of the native civilizations of this land. And that it was the defiance of these policies of the United States that kept these intricate, beautiful languages alive. It was civil disobedience against an oppressive government that eventually proved critical to saving that government and her allies. The sacredness and importance of communication within a people to convey the precise sentiment clearly and concisely, securely, cannot be overemphasized. The steadfast retention of native languages against the threat of opposition preserves and has preserved the very foundation for civilization and its wisdom to endure, and for the success of those that it chooses to support. The Rooster Nonviolent means that the solution that expedited the end of mass bloodshed, prolonged strife, environmental damage, and human suffering was possible. That in and of itself should be a lesson for all of us. It is humbling to reflect on the strength and tenacity of a civilization that has been governed by the principles and values at the core of our representative democracy, but that is a much more mature society in its evolution and the execution of these ideals. And it is heartening that in the long view, these principles can endure, and to see that notwithstanding the injustices suffered, it sent its warriors to serve the greater needs of the world and the pursuit of a balance that aims to create a lasting peace and prosperity for others, all the while knowing that the prosperity of others is essential to their own. In doing so, in making that sacrifice, it has awakened the awareness and provided a more enlightened perspective for those less mature societies and governments of how to perpetuate the central values of a fair and just society that transcend the modern era. Today is the day we honor these individuals that made great personal sacrifice in support of the values and ideals of their long-standing society and the needs for the United States of America and her allies. We honor their personal strength, character, and skill as they embody the wisdom, tenacity, and altruisms of the great civilization that has provided for the resiliency and endurance of a legacy that we would all be better for studying. Please accept my congratulations to you, sir, and to the family of those receiving honors on their loved ones' behalf. Please accept my congratulations for the well-deserved honor and for the pleasure of the self-reflection this occasion has offered myself. Those present, those that are conscious of this ceremony and the events that have led to today's celebration, and for future generations that will find the meaning of today helpful to their plight when we have left them this place to tend to and to provide for their children's peace and prosperity. Thank you all very much.
We were setting up this morning, and the backdrop took over twice on us. We asked all the family representatives of the Code Talkers to seat in their reserved seating that we had in the first few rows. I see we have a couple missing. Can I ask that the family representative or a member of the family of Peter White and Mark Arkwet to go to the registration table, or to see Allison Thompson up here to my right? Thank you, Assemblywoman Russell, for sharing those remarks. As I mentioned, we are happy to welcome a member of the U.S. Congress to not only share some remarks, but to help in presenting the congressional medals that we have today to our co-talkers. She is a member of the House Committee on Armed Services, serving on the Subcommittee for Combat Readiness. I'm pleased to congratulate her for getting her legislation passed last week, which is to support our Military Caregivers Act, a legislation that is designed to help family members taking care of our wounded veterans. Congratulations. Representing the 21st Congressional District, please welcome U.S. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik.
Thank you for that introduction. What a spectacular day. This Monday marks the 150th anniversary of Memorial Day, to commemorate and pay tribute to our fallen and those that have made the ultimate sacrifice. I can't think of a more fitting time to bestow the Congressional Medals to these 24 families here today. Thank you to the St. Regis Mohawk Tribal Council for the invitation to take part in this momentous occasion. The Congressional Medal is the highest civilian award that can be bestowed on an individual by the United States Congress. It is reserved exclusively for individuals of extraordinary achievement in American history and culture. In fact, the first recipient of this award was General George Washington. Today, we are gathered to honor an awe-inspiring group of patriots and heroes for their significant contributions during World War I and World War II. The St. Regis Mohawks are part of a group of 33 Native American tribes that Congress has recognized for using their native language to send coded messages that could not be deciphered by the enemy. What may seem like a simple weapon was in fact a powerful tool that allowed our allied forces to encrypt secret tactical messages and coordinate our efforts. These code talkers are an early example of the ingenuity and resourcefulness upon which our great military is built. It is because of the skills developed by code talkers that our great military was able to infiltrate behind enemy lines and successfully defeat our adversaries. Many of the award recipients we are honoring today took part in the most notable campaigns. In fact, Mohawk code talkers such as Joseph Barnes and Reginald White were among the first wave of Allied soldiers to storm the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. And Albert Tarbell, the first Mohawk paratrooper, fought through the Battle of the Bulge. Code talkers also played a pivotal role in the success of the Battle of Iwo Jima. For too long, this selfless sacrifice went unrecognized by our nation. And sadly, these heroes were instructed not to speak of their important roles in these military campaigns. For many, that meant that the families and friends of these code talkers were unaware of the contributions these patriots made to our country. Today, we seek to honor and commemorate these 24 individuals from the St. Regis Mohawk tribe by presenting the families of these heroes with the medals that Congress has awarded them for their brave service. Especially Army Technician 4th Grade Levi Oates, who proudly served in the 442nd Signal Battalion, which still exists today as the U.S. Army Signal School. Levi is the only surviving Akwesasne Mohawk code talker and is present here today. We thank you for your service. Each of these medals represents an important story that we must teach to the generations that have followed. That the United States of America is the land of the free because of the brave. Please accept these medals as an expression of our appreciation and gratitude for the important contributions made during your family members' military service. Thank you on behalf of the grateful nation. I will now recognize each of our code talkers, and I ask that their family members come onto the stage and accept the award as I read the citation. Robert Hearn, Korean War, Corporal in the U.S. Army from March 31st, 1951 to April 3rd, 1954. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Benjamin Hearn, his son. Edgar Jock, World War II, U.S. Army from 1944 to 1949. Fought in the Battle of the Bulge. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Warren Jock, his son. Abe Ransom, Korean War, Corporal in the U.S. Army, 1958 to 1960. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Elaine Cook, his wife. As I read the citations, if each member could pause so that their family members are able to take pictures. Louis Ransom, World War II, Sergeant in U.S. Air Force, B-29 radar operator and gunner. On his 26th mission over the Pacific, his B-29 was badly shot up and had to ditch 50 miles off the Japanese coast. His citations include the Purple Heart and the American Campaign Medal. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Lois Terrence, his daughter. World War II, telephone lineman, technician, 5th grade in the U.S. Army. Served from 1943 to 1946. His battles and campaigns included the Southern Philippines. Citations include World War II Victory Medal, Asia Pacific Service Medal with Bronze Arrowhead, Good Conduct Medal, and Philippines Liberation Ribbon with 2 bronze stars. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Dusty Ward, his son. World War II, Sergeant in the U.S. Army from 1943 to 1946. months, earned the Purple Heart. Accepting the medal is not Lorraine Swan. His grandson, George Adams. Thank you, George. Mike Akwesasne, World War II, private in the U.S. Army from 1943 to 1946. Battles and campaigns included Central Europe, Northern France, and the Rhineland. Citations include American Service Medal, European, Africa, Middle Eastern Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Purple Heart, and World War II Victory Medal. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Brenda Akwesasne, his daughter. Joseph Barnes, World War II, served in the U.S. Army, was on one of the first wave of soldiers that landed on the beaches of Normandy. After landing, he saw Reginald White, another veteran we recognize here today. They waved at each other and both began talking in Mohawk. An Army officer overheard their discussion and assigned them as code talkers. Accepting the medal on his behalf is James Barnes, his great-nephew. Served 33 months overseas in the European theater, working in a hospital ward, tending to 50 men. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Jeffrey Cole, his son. Stanley Connors, World War II, United States Army from 1942 to 1945. Along with the 291st Combat Engineer Battalion, the 998, which he was a part of, built the longest tactical bridge across the Rhine River. They were known as the best bridge builders during World War II and received commendations for participating in the relief of Bastogne, the liberation of Colmar, and for securing the bridgehead across the Moselle River under direct enemy fire. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Steve Connors, his son. Angus Cook, World War II, private first class in the U.S. Army, served from April 23, 1941 to October 15, 1945. Battles and campaigns included Ardennes, Central Europe, Normandy, Northern France, and Rhineland. Citations include received 5 battle stars from France and Germany and European, Africa, Middle Eastern Silver Service Star Medal. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Raymond Cook. Joe King, World War II, private first class in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1945. Battles and campaigns include Ardennes, Europe, and Rhineland. Citations include Good Conduct Medal, Presidential Unit Citation, EAMA Theater Ribbon with 3 battle stars, and accepting the medal on his behalf is Veronica Adams, his daughter. Private First Class U.S. Army from 1943 to 1949. He re-enlisted on February 15, 1946. Citations include the Army Occupational Medal, World War II Victory Medal. Accepting on his behalf is Eugene King, his son. World War II, served in the U.S. Army. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Frank Lapping, his son. World War II, Private First Class, 75th Artillery Division, U.S. Army from 1942 to 1945. Battles and campaigns include Central Europe, Normandy, and Rhineland. Citations include American Service Medal, European, Africa, Middle Eastern Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, Purple Heart, and World War II Victory Medal. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Jerry Lazor, his son, and Ethan Thomas, his great-grandson. World War II, 101st Airborne Division in the U.S. Army from 1943 to 1946. Served in Ardennes, Central Europe, and Rhineland. Citations include American Campaign Medal, EAME Campaign Medal, Good Conduct Medal, and World War II Victory Medal. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Lionel Lazor, his son. U.S. Army. Battles and campaigns include Operation Market Garden in Netherlands and Battle of the Bulge. He parachuted into St. Yves, France the night before D-Day. In 2000, at the age of 76, Alec returned to France to visit the battlegrounds at the invitation of a 4-star general. When leaving, he told the general he wanted to leave the same way as he arrived more than 50 years ago. Wearing his Army uniform at the age of 76, he marched 7 miles through a nearby French town as residents waved and saluted him. His citations include 2 Purple Hearts, Bronze Star for Valor. Accepting the medal today on his behalf is Patricia Oakes, his daughter. Medical technician, 4th grade, U.S. Army. Served in Naples, Rome, and Tunisia. Citations include American Defense Service Medal, European Africa Middle Eastern Service Medal, and Good Conduct Medal. Accepting the award on his behalf is Kirk Peters, his son. World War II, served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1945. Battles and campaigns include Naples, Rome, Arno, Italy, South France, Central Europe, and Rhineland. Citations include 5 battle stars and 3 invasion arrows. Accepting the medal on his behalf are Robert Pike, his son, and James Pike, his grandson. World War II, Private First Class, U.S. Army. On February 23, 1945, Private First Class Sunday was part of a 3-member crew assigned to ferry infantry men across the Roer River for the Army's advancement into the Rhineland. Each boat crew was told to make 2 trips across, possibly 2 more if the footbridges were not completed. On the 3rd trip across, a German machine gun opened up, hitting all the infantrymen in the boat, along with 1 member of the boat operating crew. The 2nd boat crew member left the boat to save 2 wounded infantrymen from drowning, leaving Private First Class Sunday alone to paddle the wounded men 400 yards back to shore. Upon landing, he sought out more infantrymen waiting to cross the river. In the end, he ended up ferrying men across the river 14 times, many of them unassisted. Citations include Bronze Star for his action on that day. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Tira Benedict. Reginald White, World War II, Private First Class, Tank Destroyer Battalion, U.S. Army from 1943 to 1945. Battles and campaigns include Ardennes, Central Europe, Normandy, Northern France, and Rhineland. Notable events: Private First Class White crossed to Normandy on an LST onto Omaha Beach. Citations include American Service Medal, European Africa Middle Eastern Service Medal, Good Conduct Medal, and World War II Victory Medal. Accepting on his behalf is Alan White, his son. Albert Tarbell, World War II, 82nd Airborne Division, 504th Parachute Infantry Regiment, U.S. Army. Battles and campaigns include Anzio Beachhead, Operation Market Garden, and Ardennes. He met the Russians on the Elbe River in May 1945 and served served in the Berlin Honor Guard. He is the first Mohawk paratrooper and the first to be a part of the famed 82nd Airborne Division. He fought through the Battle of the Bulge and helped free concentration camp prisoners at Ludwig-Lust, Germany. Citations include Bronze Star, Good Medal Conduct, Presidential Unit Citation, and Distinguished Unit Citation. EAME Campaign Medal with 4 Bronze Stars and Arrowheads, Army of Occupation Medal, and World War II Victory Medal. Accepting the medal on his behalf is Mike Tarbell, his son. And now, for our hero, Levi Oates, World War II, sole surviving Akwesasne Mohawk code talker, technician, 4th grade, Company B, 442nd Single Battalion, U.S. Army, served with distinction and received an honorable discharge on February 15, 1946. And he celebrated his birthday, 94 years old, 2 weeks ago. Levi, thank you. On behalf of the Thank you very much to all of the families and everyone who came here today. I'm sure there's not a dry eye in the house. Thank you, especially to Levi, for your service. You are a true hero.
Wow. No, thank you, Congresswoman Stefanik. Thank you, Commander Goodlook. But more importantly, thank you, Levi. Thank you to the family representatives for being here today. I just want to say that at the end of today's event, you're going to be welcome to take one of these flowers that you see along the front of the stage. They're not Congressional Medals, but they're from Cook's Greenery. They're very beautiful. So be sure to take one of them with you. Also, we have individual boxes for your bronze medal and your silver medals, okay? So just see us afterwards. And we would like to welcome each of the families following today's event to feel free to take group photos, okay? And we will begin with Levi's. I just want to quickly recognize a few folks for helping to organize today's event. A lot of people helped out during the past few weeks, and I just want to give them recognition. From the Communications Department, Allison Thompson. I would also like to recognize Amy Benedict, who has served as, I guess, the chairperson of our organizing committee, and paid attention to every single detail for today. I want to recognize from administration Lily McDonald, Gloria Hearn, and Annie Hero. From the Office for the Aging, Doris Kearns, Tina Tarbell, Laura Lee LaFrance, and Larry White. From our custodians and grounds crew, Lee Tarbell, Trevor Swank, Raymond Rourke, Margaret Perkins, Courtney Ollinger, Tom Cook, and Daniel Johnson. From facilities, I want to thank Bill Arquette and Mike McFadden and Tom as well. And if there's anybody else I may have missed, my apologies. I know that a lot of people helped out behind the scenes. Members of the St. Mohawk Police Department are here. Our local ambulance service as well. Well, this was certainly a wonderful event to kick off on Memorial Day weekend. And we hope that we can share something just as important next year. To share information with you on that, I would like to welcome someone who has taken over this issue on behalf of Tribal Chief Paul Thompson. Someone who has served as the chairperson for our planning committee for the development of an Akwesasne Veterans Memorial Project. Please join me in welcoming Tribal Sub-Chief Cheryl Jacobs.
Welcome veterans, dignitaries, distinguished guests, and all Akwesasne Mohawk family members who have come from near and far. Congratulations to all the recipients of today's Congressional Medal in recognition of our Akwesasne Mohawk Oath. Today we recognize all veterans this Memorial Day weekend, and to all who have served in the past, present, and for the future to come. As a veteran, it is my honor to be here and introduce the project that we have been working on for close to a year now. I was tasked by Chief Eric Thompson to pick up where former Tribal Chief Paul Thompson left off in seeing the development of the Akwesasne Veterans Memorial, recognizing all veterans of Akwesasne. The idea of the proposed project was initiated by a letter that was dated December 2nd, 2011 by Mr. David E. Benedict, who served in the U.S. Navy for 20 years. The letter was sent in 2013 to all three governments, outlining a vision for an Akwesasne Veterans Memorial Monument. Ed, as he was known to be, believed that all Akwesasne veterans, both men and women, who served in the armed forces, should be honored for their contribution in times of war as well as peace. Former Chief Paul Thompson took the initiative to help bring the vision closer to life prior to his retirement from public service. A charter was passed by the Tribal Council in 2014 to formally accept the project, and a board of trustees was formed to oversee the project. The board has been tasked with fundraising efforts, the design, the manufacturing, the delivery, landscaping, and installation of the monument. I have been tasked with leading the project team to making the project become a reality. We have also been tasked with raising the funds to see the project through. Today we are here to unveil the end results, along a period of committee discussions, community consultations, and a 2-week comment period, and working with a designer. The scale model being presented here today is hopefully completed by Memorial Day 2017. The Akwesasne Veterans Memorial Monument will be located at Generations Park in what they call walking trail. We are currently in the request for proposal phase. Once again, we have to complete an RFP, and then the hard work begins when we start raising the funds to make sure we see the project through. We currently have about roughly $38,000 raised to date. I'd like to thank former Chief Paul Thompson. He reached out to the Akwesasne Chamber of Commerce, who started the fund up by contributing $19,000. An additional $20,000 was secured through Tribal Council this past year. We're asking for volunteers to come and join our committee. I already have 3 community members, Alma Ransom, Norman Carbo, and a niece of Ed Benedict who has stepped forward. And anybody else who's interested in joining our fundraising committee, watch for the website and hear it on the radio and the newspaper when our committee meetings will resume. I'd like to acknowledge and recognize the hard work of our current committee. Mike Cook, Commander, Post 1479, Andy Cook, Veteran, Phil Garbo, Veteran, Barney Swamp, Post 1479, Sons of the American Legion, Pauline Thomas, Akwesasne Mohawk Tribe, and infrastructure for technical support. If you'd like to make a monetary donation, you'll be able to do so by sending a check or money order payable to the tribe in care of the Akwesasne Veterans Memorial Fund. You will receive a tax-deductible receipt for your donation. So we are asking for volunteers at this time. I have my helpers here, grade 5 student on the Akwesasne lacrosse team, who will now do the unveiling of the mock-up of what we propose to be presented in the park next memorial. 1, 2, 3. We now can walk by any time and see it. We also have a short we have handouts here that shows what the landscape will look like and what it will look like in the end. So you're welcome to walk through at any time and have a look at it. I'd like to end by taking a moment to remember the sacrifices of the brave men and women who have valiantly fought to make America the great nation it is. A quote from Richard Watson Gilbert: It is better than honor and glory, and history's iron pen is the thought of duty done and the love of his fellow man. So please feel free afterwards to come forward and see the mock-up in which we hope to accomplish for next May Memorial Day. Thank you.
Now, thank you very much, Chief General Jacobs, and I think I share the sentiment of a lot of folks that it's very important that we recognize our veterans, and today it's very important to honor our co-doctors, but more importantly, all of our veterans. Continuing along, I just want to recognize our local vendors. Today's event realized 100% Akwesasne-based businesses. I want to thank Beauty and Bloom, Sanitation Solutions, Cook's Greenery, and remember, each family, please feel free to take a flower with you. Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, Three Feathers Internet Cafe, Standing Carol Singers, and Jessica Sargent Photography. The Sacred Mohawk Tribe has been a very important part in moving this process along. We want to recognize once more the work of Jeff Whalen in initially coming up with that list of 24 veterans that went again in World War II. And then, of course, continuing along in getting them confirmed by the Department of Defense. And as I said earlier, we recognize some individuals as bronze medal recipients because there was some documentation missing. If sufficient information will come forth in the future, I'm very hopeful that they will be formally recognized as Akwesasne Mohawk and the recipients of the Silver Congressional Medal. As I said before, Tribal Chief Ronald Thompson, Subchief Michael Connors, served as the representative on behalf of the State Mohawk Tribal Committee in moving this process forward. And we wanted to add them to the agenda to share some closing remarks, as well as to conduct a special presentation. For that, I would like to call up Tribal Subchief Mike Connors, and joining him are members of the St. Louis Mohawk Tribal Council.
As part of the process, the tribe received a gold medal from the Congressional Medal, and our council was deliberated, and we deliberated for a short amount of time, and then decided that the proper place to display the medal is at the American Legion Post 1479. You can help us come up with it? Mike, on behalf of the council, we present you with the Congressional Gold Medal.
All right, I'd like to, one of our team soldiers. Okay. I want, as I call your names, please stand up. Tommy B. Hearn, United States Marine Corps. Emery Phelan, United States Marine Corps. Stand up and be recognized. Joe Hearn, U.S. Army. Lori Thompson, U.S. Navy. Richard Below, U.S. Army. Wendell Bolt, Army. Greg Bay, Army.
Sorry, Cal.
Dana Langdon, Army. Daniel Lowe, Marine Corps. Melissa Lowe, Marine Corps. Leonard Darrow, Army. Randy Judd, Navy. Gerald Stewart, Air Force. Ron Judd, Marine. Bobby Austin, Army. Ryan Green, Marine Corps. John Mitchell, Marine Corps. James Palmer, the 2nd Army. Larry Rohr, Army. Nathan Oak, Marine Corps. Orlando Thompson, U.S. Army. Donald Cummings, Army. Matt Daniels, Army. Randy Cook, Army. Larry White, Army. Ray Cook, Marine Corps. Leslie Thompson, Army. Terry Holliston, Marine. Jimmy Barnes, Army. Kendall Gore, Army. Donald Red Satin, Army. Barry Hearn, Army. Neil Jack, Army. Ryan Garcia, Marine. Jeff Fedor, Marine. Joe Hill, Air Force. Fred Scott, Navy. Carl Cook, Tom Bond or Thomas Green, Chris Arnott, Alexander Phillips, Lee. I can't reach that one.